And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net, should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the best sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today we're currently featuring over 2,900 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor followed by the word logbook. And we also have a newer series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature philosophical kinds of QSOs. That's KC9VKV followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. Both KC9VKV Logbook and KC9VKV Highlights are segments of our main YouTube homepage of Jim's Radio Story, where we celebrate a 50-year career in commercial broadcasting, a 50-year journey from a 5-watt pirate radio station as a 12-year-old to production director of a major 50,000-watt AM broadcast facility. And the thing that makes this truly a unique story is that I have all the actual masters from all along the way. Over 2,600 shows, including many full-length major music concerts and radio documentaries. You'll have to check it out and subscribe. Jim's Radio Story on a YouTube search. Our mission statement for the Qso-Vlog network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics and current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 5 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia specifically, and in addition, we're running our new number 5 Hocus Pocus Internet SDR receiver, loaded with 50 additional pre-programmed Internet SDR locations spread out over 20 states across the United States. Now the audio from these 5 SDRs and receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also in this selector is our local receiver audio. And today our local receiver is running 3 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas. One aimed at 0 degrees, one aimed at 90 degrees, and the number 3 is aimed at 134 degrees. These are run as a directional scanner array with a manual voting system 6-position rotary selector. Also today on the transmit side, we'll be running our NOSWR specially oriented resonant tuned dipole antenna. One leg of this resonant tuned dipole antenna runs broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg runs broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today we'll be running our input source indicator, so when we switch from an internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube Qso-Vlog video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA5 to be understood by all. As we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you'll protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you'll reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this part of the band has many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our Qso-Vlog net to keep their band pass to no wider than 100 to 2900. And again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now let's check in and see if Charlie K1GZL is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Got a copy?
And it sounds like Charlie will not be with us this afternoon. Maybe next week he'll join us. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net, and so we'll get right into it, see who is out there. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Give me a shout. November 8, Tango Romeo Hotel.
November 8, Tango Romeo Hotel. Is that a Roger?
Tango Romeo Hotel. Is that a Roger? QSL, yes.
Alrighty, and what's the name there?
Alrighty, and what's the name there? The name here is Dave, spelled out Alpha Victor Echo.
Roger, Roger, Dave, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
Dave, and whereabouts are you located, sir? Located 80 miles east of Columbus, Ohio, in Cambridge.
Roger, Roger, Ohio. And what radio are you running today, Dave?
Ohio, and what radio are you running today, Dave? I am using the KC9VKV.
Look, that's a 991A. Is that a Roger?
991A. Is that a Roger? Roger, Roger.
Okay, Dave, if you'd be interested in a setup, and I think you might need one because you sound like you might be just a little hot into your ALC, but let's drop back to the beginning of our setup, and we wonder if you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. That's called wide, and it'll give your transmitter the best performance capabilities. It's 100 to 2900, Roger?
It's 100 to 2900, roger. I'm not even sure where that's at, so I have no idea what it is set at. Go ahead.
Okay, sir. Well, maybe you check your book. It's pretty important because what happens is when you run lesser modes than 100 to 2900, it starts chopping off your top end audio-wise, and that's where intelligibility resides up in those other frequencies. So we really are looking for 100 to 2900s. So maybe at your leisure later, you might check that. Past that, we go to your compressor limiter, and we usually want to say run that at 3. That's a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100 on your compressor processor, roger?
Compressor processor, roger. Okay, so I've got that right down.
All right, and then to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you say the magic word audio, adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is showing 2/3. That's 2/3 on your ALC meter. When you say the word audio, stretch out that front. Don't really stress it, but just say it like you would any other word in a QSO. It's a good word, and I spent months trying to find just that right word that will be, very full to set an ALC level, and that's it, audio, and adjust your mic level, your mic gain, until your ALC meter is running 2/3 or 7, whichever comes first.
2/3 or 7, whichever comes first. Okay. Audio.
Try that one more time. You might have hit your VFO.
Try that one more time. You might have hit your VFO.
This is KC9VKV. I think Dave might have hit his VFO. Not sure, though. Dave, you there?
VFO. Not sure, though. Dave, you there? Yeah, Roger. I'm still here.
Roger. I thought you might have hit your VFO. So, did you have a good success on hitting your 2/3 mark on your ALC meter?
Your 2/3 mark on your ALC meter? I believe it is. I definitely picked it up some.
Roger. It sounds like you might be up against the wall, but what we could do is go to your ALC, go to your AQ page. Do you know how to get there?
Your AQ page. Do you know how to get there? I'm going to have to get the book out. Haven't had this radio very long.
Okay, I got an idea that might solve a bunch of problems. If you were to back off mic about 4 inches or 3 inches additional from where you are, that would solve 2 or 3 problems, Roger? That would solve 2 or 3 problems, Roger?
Okay, there's about probably 4 inches.
Roger. It still needs a little more top end for articulation. That's what we're looking for. So if you want to take another note there, once you get to your equalization page, we want to crank in about 3 clicks additional treble EQ. I'll tell you what, make that 4 clicks additional treble EQ. Are you aware of what kind of equalizer you might have in that radio?
Negative on that. Negative.
Roger. Well, when you find it, just increase your treble EQ by 4 clicks. I think that'll solve most of that problem. And again, you could review your ALC level. We want to be just to the right of mid-scale on your ALC meter as you say the word audio, Roger? And why don't you tell me about your antenna system there, Dave?
I have a vertical ground plane about 35 off of a roof. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. Yes, you definitely need a little more top-end EQ to get your intelligibility up, but you can do that at your leisure, Roger.
You can do that at your leisure, Roger. Okay, yep, I'll definitely do that.
Roger, and we'll be posting this recording. We're recording now, and we'll be till 5, and we'll have it to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That'll bring up this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in this series of 2900, and again, I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger.
And again, I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger. KC9VKV, is that correct?
Well, that's Roger.
That's Roger. Okay, yep, I'll definitely look it up on Facebook.
Roger, Roger, Dave. Well, 73, sir. And you have a great afternoon, a beautiful weekend, Roger. And if you get a chance, join us next Friday.
Roger, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday. Okay, I appreciate the help there, and we'll listen to that a little later on. Thank you.
Roger. It does sound. Your AOC does sound hot. I'm not really sure. Are you using just a regular microphone going into that radio?
Microphone going into that radio? Yes, Roger. Just the regular stock microphone.
Roger, it sounds hot. I tell you what, why don't you just back off that microphone level about 8 clicks from where you are. I mean, if you were like at about 60, put it on about 52 or something, Roger.
Put it on about 52 or something, Roger. Okay, it is set at 57. Going down to 54.
Roger, and then back off 2 inches from where you are. Back off about 2 inches from where you are.
Back off about 2 inches from where you are. Okay. Any difference there? Over.
Yes, sir. That's perfect. Now make sure that you use that position on your microphone, because with reduced mic level like you have and the distance that you just were, it's just perfect, Roger.
Just where it's just perfect, Roger. Okay. Definitely. Thanks for the help there.
Roger, Roger, Dave, 73, sir. You have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
A radio you want to check out, give me a shout. Yeah, Roger, Jim. This is Kilo Quebec 4 Golf Delta Mike. Kilo Quebec 4 Golf Delta Mike.
Roger, Golf Delta Mike. Is that a Roger?
Roger, Golf Delta Mike. Is that a Roger?
Yeah, Roger, Jim. I talked to you once before a few months ago. Today I'm on a backup radio. My gauge is in the shop. Out in California, gauge is working on it. I'm on an old 40-year-old GS 430S. It does not have any equalization on it. In fact, it only transmits at 2600 bandwidth. It's locked. So I know it doesn't sound very good. But I just wanted to get your opinion, even though there's really not much I can do to it to increase or affect the audio. I was wondering how it sounded to you, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, Golf Delta Mike. I tell you what, what's the name there?
Yeah, Roger, Golf Delta Mike. I tell you what, what's the name there?
My name is Sean. This is Sean, and I'm in Orlando, Florida.
Is that Sean or John?
Is that Sean or John?
Sean, like Sean Connery, Roger.
Give me phonetics on it.
Give me phonetics on it.
That's Sierra Echo Alpha Nevada. Sierra Echo Alpha Nevada. And I'm in Orlando, Florida.
My goodness, sound like a QRMer to me. You know, they're a dying breed. I hope.
To me, you know, they're a dying breed. I hope.
Sean, why don't you tell me about your antenna system there for a little bit, about 10 seconds or so, and let me see if I can find a better path for us, Roger. And let me see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Okay. Figured I'd give you a shout and tell me what you think, how it sounds.
Roger, I've only got a couple of clicks above my noise level. I was going to try to I've got 3 or 4 Florida SDRs, but they're not opening up for whatever reason. So I guess we're going to, right now I'm in Georgia, and I just plugged in a place up in Upper Georgia, so let's just see what that does. Come on back and talk to me for a minute.
Okay, Roger, you're on a Georgia SDR. Yes. Then would be at 4:30, and tell me how it sounds out of Georgia, Roger.
Okay, so did you say you do not have EQ on that radio?
EQ on that radio? Yes, that's correct. And I did not have EQ. In fact, it only transmits at 2600 bandwidth. So the bandwidth isn't painful either. There's not much I can do
Roger, Golf Delta Mike. I still haven't got a good copy on your name. Is it Sean or John?
John or John?
Yeah, I still don't have a good copy on the name. Is it John or Sean? I only have a slight copy on you, but I want to get that name right, Roger. All right, I'm going to go with John. Is that a Roger?
Yeah, it's Sean. Sean, like the actor Sean Connery from 007, Roger.
Okay, I got it as Sean. All right, and you're in, what's your location, sir?
I'm in Apopka, Florida, which is outside of Orlando, in a little suburb outside of Orlando, Roger.
Roger, yeah, I'm not sure why my Florida SDRs are not opening. I've got 4 of them: Miami, Boca Raton, Orlando, and some other town in Florida, but they don't seem to be opening up today. But anyway, if you have a pretty good copy, we can still work some magic there, even though you don't have EQ page on that radio. You could step back off the microphone. Is that a hand mic or a desk mic?
It's a hand microphone. I can back off a little bit on the audio here. Okay. So, how about this
Okay, Sean, what I want you to do is I want you to pull that mic to the corner of your lips and talk across it. Don't talk right into it, but pull it to the corner of your lips and talk across it, Roger.
Oh, okay, yeah, he's talking across the microphone. Not into the microphone, but across the microphone. Did that improve the sound quality a little bit?
Roger, I think that sounds better. Does sound better. And I'll be uploading this recording to YouTube by noon tomorrow. If you want to hear your audio, unfortunately, it's only a couple of clicks above my noise level, but or above. Let's see where I am. Yeah, my local antenna. You're only about a couple of clicks above my noise level, so it's not the greatest recording, but it'll give you some idea of where your audio is. So if you go to YouTube and call it a search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, you'll come up with this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in the series of 2900, and we'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger?
Thank you so much, Ken. Thank you so much, and you have a good weekend. 73 from 84 Golf Delta Mike.
Roger, Sean. I think it sounds pretty good. Just from what I can hear, I think it sounds pretty good. So, maybe next Friday we might try it and have some better propagation. 73 for now, Sean. And this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Radio you want to check out, give me a shout. Shout. Kilo Golf 4 Echo Delta Alpha.
Was that Kilo Golf 4 Echo Alpha? Is that a Roger?
Kilo Golf 4 Echo Alpha, is that a Roger? Echo Delta Alpha.
Echo Delta Alpha, Roger. What's the name there?
Echo Delta Alpha, Roger. What's the name there? Henry.
I copy that as Henry. Is that a Roger?
I copy that as Henry. Is that a Roger? Roger.
Roger, Henry, and what's your location, sir?
Roger, Henry, and what's your location, sir?
Just west of Nashville.
All right. And what radio are you running today, Henry?
And what radio are you running today, Henry?
It is a Kenwood 820F that's been in the basement on a shelf for several years now. And I pulled it out about a week ago. It's about 50 years old.
Roger, Henry, I just went to my local antenna and you blew me away. You're like about 15 over on my local antenna up around Indiana and Louisville, Kentucky, right? Right in that area. You're really loud now, Roger.
Well, this radio, as I said, is 50 years old-ish. I think 49. I think it was made in 1975. And I put it up a couple of years ago, but I got it out this week, and I've been going through the tune-up manual for it, which is, there must be 200 adjustments to this thing inside. And the manual, believe it or not, from 1975 has mistakes in it that they've never corrected. But anyway, that's what it is. It's a Kenwood 820F. Over.
Roger. So you do not have onboard EQ, is that a Roger?
Does not, no.
Yes, sir. Well, let me just say that your dynamic range is right on, spot on at about 3 dB, so your average percent of peak modulation is just beautiful at about 80 to 85%. So it's a real loud, and it's on frequency, Roger?
That's good to know, because the way this... it has a VFO and a VCO, and the way those things work is not straightforward. So I haven't been able to adjust the frequency. And it has a digital display that for its time, I mean, it's got more chips in that digital display than most computers do today. It was very difficult pulling that analog. It's basically a frequency counter. And driving a vacuum fluorescent display. So it's not necessary, but it was a feature of this radio. It was one of the first ones with a a digital display. Over.
Roger, Roger. Now, it might be just barely a little low, just barely. Not enough that most folks would even notice, but, just passing along, just barely slightly low, I think, but sounding really, really good.
Well, good to know. I've also got a 520 that I'm getting ready to pull out next week and see if it will fire up as well. But I've had a lot of these Kenwoods. Ironically, these things over the years have been stolen during moves by people thinking they were getting their hands on some really top electronic gear, not understanding that they're boat anchors and are barely worth what it costs to ship them. Over.
Yeah, but on the other hand, that's sounding better than about maybe 50% of the rest of the world as far as audio transmitting. So it is, though it's older, it's sounding just beautiful, and that's the whole thing about it. You got a radio that sounds beautiful. It can be 100 years old. Who cares? It's what's coming out that makes a difference.
Yeah, when I opened this up, I realized that I must have recapped the high voltage cap some years ago because they have my initials on them. But other than that, it has nothing done to it. It has a sideband filter in it from the factory. It does not have a CW filter, but that doesn't seem to matter to me, really. Yeah, I like these radios. I think if your radio is not keeping you warm in the shack and serving as a night light, then it's not doing its full duty.
Yeah, that's it, Roger. Now, just out of curiosity, what's your mic level right at the moment?
It's a 6 out of 10. I'm not right on it, though.
Roger. Pull off the mic. Is that a hand mic you're running?
No, it's a desk mic.
Roger. Pull off that desk mic about 2 inches and let me hear you.
Okay, well, that's a lot further out. I don't know what that sounds like.
Sounds good. I think there might be better, maybe a compromise between where you were and where you were just then. Somewhere about halfway between there, Roger.
Okay, I will keep that in mind. I'm fairly loud, so it doesn't take a lot of volume, but I'm running a dipole off of my back deck that thing can't be more than 15 feet off the ground, so it is what it is.
Roger's doing you a great job, and I think you'll like your recording. If you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording, and it'll be cut number 1 in the series of 2900, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Roger, thank you. I'll take a listen to it. So 73s, this is KG4 EDA.
Roger, sir. 73. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Alpha Charlie 2, Tango Tango.
Alpha Charlie 2 station, come back with your call sign again, slowly, phonetically.
Roger. Alpha Charlie 2, Tango Tango.
Roger, Tango, and what's the name there?
Name is Cliff. We're located in North Carolina, just north of Winston-Salem.
Roger, Cliff, and what radio are you running today, sir?
Yeah, it's an ICOM 718. This one is real low. It's maybe 12 to 15 feet off the ground. 12 to 15 feet off the ground. I just wanted to get it to check on the audio with the amplifier. New location, just 6 miles south of where I used to be in King. It's a small town called Royal Hall. I haven't changed, but my address is still King. So anyway, it's just a little bit too cold to mess around with antennas.
But just the old ICOM 718 AL80B and a 40-meter dipole cut for this van. Over.
Roger, Roger, Cliff. And again, what was the nomenclature on your radio? Roger, Cliff. And again, what was the nomenclature on your radio?
Repeat that again?
What's the name of your radio? What's the name of your radio?
ICOM 718.
Roger, Roger, 718, ICOM 718. Sounds pretty good. Yeah. Does that have, is that an older radio? Yeah. Does that have, is that an older radio?
No. Basically, we have 80%. Let's see if I could switch it over to, hold on.
Yeah, where'd you go, Cliff?
In there.
Yeah, where'd you go, Cliff?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I was trying to switch it over to see how it was showing on the meter on the modulation. And she seems to be 60 to 70% going out. Over.
Roger. Well, we have a set of procedures there. The first thing is to make sure that you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. It's called TBW. 100 to 2900 will let your transmitter reach its maximum performance capabilities. Roger. Reach its maximum performance capabilities. Roger.
Yeah. Well, there's no other way to adjust the modulation unless I crank up the mic gain on this thing. I don't want to switch it over. It doesn't sound clear to you. Not as good as the boat anchor that was just on there. He was fantastic. I was just wondering, is it the hand mic clear to you, or distorted, or too bassy, or what?
Well, we have a setup procedure that I'd like to do with you, and that is maybe you make a note about that transmit bandwidth. If you don't know where it is or how to adjust it, usually, most modern-day radios do have maybe a 3-selection bandwidth prompt, and one of those is 100 to 2900, which will allow your transmitter to perform at its best capability. But if you're not aware of that or you don't have that, just make a note to look at that. The next one would be your compressor processor. We're looking to have that at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, whichever comes first, depending on how it's labeled. Roger, 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100 on your compressor processor. Roger. Or 30 out of 100 on your compressor processor. Roger.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. I never did get your name. What is your name?
Name here is Jim. Juliet India Mike. Jim. Roger. Here is Jim. Juliet India Mike. Jim. Roger.
Yeah, Jim. I know I hear you in there. And your call is Kilo Charlie 9 what?
Victor Kilo Victor. That's KC9VKV. Roger. No, Victor. That's KC9VKV. Roger.
Yeah. VTV. I'm getting also carry on you. Well, thanks, Jim. I appreciate the help. And you have a great weekend. Over.
Roger, Roger, Cliff. Let me go through that call sign again. My call sign is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. Roger.
Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. Roger.
Victor Kilo Victor. Yes, got it that time, Jim. Very good. Thanks again for the help. 7-3. Have a good one.
Yes, sir, Cliff. And the proper way to set your audio level is to go to your AOC meter with mic gain in hand. And as you say the word audio, stretching out the first part of that, you become a human test tone generator and adjust your mic level until your AOC meter is running 2/3 or 7, whichever comes first. So that's mic gain in hand. Adjust your mic gain until your AOC is running 2/3 or 7, whichever comes first. That'll give you a good modulation level.
Comes first. That'll give you a good modulation level.
Yes, gotcha. 2/3 to 7. I can do that. Thank you. Thanks for the information. Over.
Roger, Roger, Cliff, and we'll have this uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. You go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. It'll take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2900, and I'll have it, like I say, uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger.
And I'll have it, like I say, uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger.
Roger. I can't wait to hear it. Thank you very much again. Over.
Roger, Roger. And I have a chevron on the lower right-hand side that says to anybody looking at where I am listening from, right now I'm on a Georgia SDR, so you're really hot down in Georgia, but I'd like to try it on my local antenna. Roger.
Really hot down in Georgia, but I'd like to try it on my local antenna. Roger.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you some talk. Try it on your local antenna. I just only have one antenna. Why? I fan tail off on 20. I fan tail off on 20. I have also how it fall like a folded dipole. But is that enough talk, Jim? Over.
Yes, sir. I went through Virginia, Georgia, Pennsylvania, New York, Kentucky, and my local 7300 in that time, and you're sounding good almost everywhere, Roger.
300 in that time, and you're sounding good almost everywhere, Roger.
Oh, okay. So I'm getting all the way around then.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're filling your space, Roger.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're filling your space, Roger.
I'm sorry, we had a perfect double. Perfect double. Repeat.
Sorry, we had a perfect double. Perfect double. Repeat.
Yeah, the station up in, I think it's Shrewsbury, Vermont, K1BL.
Roger, Cliff, you might take him up or down 4 clicks. This is a network, and we're going to move along now. So if you want to advise him that you want to take him up or down.
So if you want to advise him that you want to take him up or down.
Roger, Roger. Okay, I'll let you go. 7-3. Have a good one.
Roger, Roger, Cliff, 73, sir. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilowatt 4 Hotel Echo Whiskey, HEW. Roger.
Ah, yes, HEW. What's the name there?
The name here is Joe, Juliet Oscar Echo. We live in a motorhome over near Raleigh.
Roger that, and that's a 7300?
You got it. That's the one. I'm using my Bluetooth headset for a change, and I think it got it.
Headset for a change, and I think it got it dialed in, so it's not too hot. How's the audio that way, sir? Over.
Looks good. I'm copying you on my Virginia SDR, and looks like about 3 dB dynamic range. So your average percent of peak modulation is around 80 to 85%. Roger.
Percent of peak modulation is around 80 to 85%. Roger. Oh, that's exactly what I show here on the 7300. I've tried to keep it down so it's not too hot or over-modulating. The LC is between 80 and 85, 90% most of the time, and I've had no problems with this thing. Your signal this evening isn't as strong as normal, but I've got a lot of QSB in there. It's kind of noisy this evening for some reason.
Roger, Joe. I was catching something on coming in from the sideband somewhere fairly close, maybe a KC off or something. Really, pretty, a lot of stuff breezing through here, Roger.
A lot of stuff breezing through here, Roger. Roger. It's in that way. Seems like whenever we get on our RV service net at 7191 in the morning, there's always somebody bleeding over. But I think I've got this thing dialed in to where it's got a little more punch, and I can be heard. I only run 100 watts, so I don't have a lot of power, just the standard 7300, and I was using the stock mic, but I've reverted back to try to get this Bluetooth headset to work. It's wireless, and I think I've got it dialed in finally.
Roger, that volume sounds just about right. Like I say, you have a 3 dB dynamic range, which is just where you want to be. So your level is really close. It might be just a tad warm, but right in that area, you're right. And recording will show you out there. It just sounds beautiful. I wouldn't change a thing. Get the Gorilla Tape out and taper down.
Well, that's good news. It just started to rain over here, so I don't know if that's causing any noise on the band or not, but it's going to be raining now through tomorrow afternoon or evening, I think, at least. We're expecting about an inch out of this system floating over now, Roger.
Roger. Now, are you running a vertical antenna on your RV?
That's it. It's a quarter wave vertical. That's the Eagle 1. And it's mounted on the ladder on the back of the motorhome. I actually added about 18 inches to it, trying to get it to resonate a little bit lower frequency. I put a new frequency antenna analyzer on it. I picked up down at Hand Case, and I got the Comet analyzer. Put it on there, and the thing is resonant at 8,200 kilohertz, 8.2 megahertz. But the 7300 had no problem adjusting SWR down, so I added 17 or 18 inches to it. Now it resonates at 7600. It's now where I was 7600. It's where I wanted it, 7200. So it'll be easy enough to take that down and add another 15 to 18 inches more. So we'll see what happens anyway. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it, Jim. Back to you.
Oh, yes, sir. You're just, like I say, I'm running now through the Georgia SDR, and you look to be about 15 over on the Georgia SDR. I've got that where I am chevron on the right side, so I've been wandering around through my SDRs, and you can hear how they are performing, Roger.
SDRs, and you can hear how they are performing, Roger. Oh, Roger that. Yeah, I use that Georgia SDR quite a bit. It receives quite well down there in the signals around the East Coast here. So, well, Jim, I appreciate that, and good words, and appreciate the feedback. Yeah, it always helps. I know I've had it dialed in here for a while. I've told other folks about you as well, that they can get their radios, at least help get them set up initially, and so hopefully you'll get a few calls that way there, and using your service. I think it's just excellent. Appreciate it, Jim. Thanks a lot. Back to you.
Roger, Roger, Joe, and like I say, if I didn't know it, I would never know that you're on a wireless mic. Just sounds just so natural. So good going on the setup there. 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, a beautiful weekend, and I hope you enjoy your recording. We'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Go to YouTube, call it a search, KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, and we'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So 73, sir. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo, Charlie, 2, Zulu, Victoria, Mexico, 3.
Is that Zulu Victor X-ray? Is that Zulu Victor X-ray?
Zulu, Victoria, Victor, Mexico.
Mexico, Roger. Let me get that down. So, it is Kilo Charlie 2 Zulu Victor Mexico. Roger?
That is a Roger. The name is John Julia Oscar Henry Norway. And I'm operating a QRP radio that I put together, so I'm just trying it out to see how it's working out.
Okay, John, why don't you tell me about 15 seconds and tell me about your antenna system. Let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Roger, my antenna system is Roger, my antenna 40 Aggie.
All right, I've got a really good copy on my local antenna, which is down around Louisville, Kentucky. Roger, Roger. What is your location?
My QTH is South Carolina.
Roger, Roger, South Carolina. Well, I have somebody doing a QRM thing. I don't know. QRMers are a dying breed, I hope. And John, what is the name of that radio?
The name of the radio is one moment.
That's a heck of a name for a radio. One moment.
Actually, it's a bit X40, version 3, over.
Okay, version 3. Give me the front part of that.
Bit X40, version 3, over.
X33, is that a Roger?
Victor 3.
All right. We'll work it out there, and that's I don't even know what I wrote there. And it's not even that late. Anyway, John, where are you located again?
I'm in Walhalla, South Carolina, over.
Roger, Roger. Well, you're booming in. Let's see, my local antenna for sure. Might check a couple of things. Why don't you tell me about the best thing you like about your radio?
It works after I put it together. I know there's a bit of a modulation problem. I did have a frequency discrepancy by about 1 kilohertz. I resolved that, but I've been told that the audio is there's no highs, it's all low, over.
All right, so how QRT are you?
I'm running on my peaks up to about 4 watts, over.
Yes, sir. Okay, and where's your mic level control reading right now? What's your mic level control?
There is no mic level control. This is a DIY home-brewed microphone, over.
Is that an Electret homebrew?
Roger.
Okay. Do you happen to have a windscreen around that foam windscreen around that you could put over that electret so you don't get any transients?
There is a bottom, and then on the very top there is a plastic cover with small holes in it. There's about 10 holes into this, and I'm holding it about 3 inches from my pod.
Yes, sir, John. Well, what I wanted you to do, if you happen to have a foam windscreen that you could put over the front of that microphone and then just hold the foam windscreen, then you could come right up on that mic, and you have a great increase in your audio level, modulation-wise. Roger?
Roger, I do not have anything that's readily available in front of me here. I would have to, acquire something like that.
Yes, sir. Well, I can tell that there's a lot more there because every once in a while you'll hit a transient that just you're +3 or so. So I know there's more there. Do you happen to have? Let's do an experiment. Do you happen to have a real sock, just a regular sock, around?
Try to use my shirt, but apparently you didn't hear.
Okay, now I want you to then come right up on that microphone, Actually, actually touch your shirt where your microphone is, and let me hear you.
All right, now I'm right up on top of the microphone, and I'm peaking right around 8 watts. Over.
Oh yeah, well your audio level almost tripled. And fairly clear. So you definitely need to work that mic a lot closer since you don't have a volume control. You want to get hotter level. You need to get right up on that mic, but you're going to have to get a foam windscreen to do it, or something like that. But that, if you had a foam windscreen, you could work right up on it, and your level would just go astronomical, hotter than normal.
I will get some and try that out. You're about my third contact right now. I'm pleased with the outcome of this kit. Over.
Oh yes, so that was a really good transmission there. And like I say, if you had a foam windscreen, I wouldn't even hear the transients. It would just be just beautiful. Let's see. Yeah, foam windscreen. You could go to your local music store and get one. I think they're like about $4 or so, or one from Amazon or somewhere. They're really cheap, and they just do a beautiful job. They take care of all of the extraneous noises except the words. Roger?
Roger. Do I have my high peaks when I'm talking this close?
Yes, sir. Your modulation level really comes up there nicely. You still have some transients there a little bit, but your modulation level really comes up when you're talking close. Now, my theory about QRT radios is you're not going to achieve perfection audio-wise because you're going to drive the living heck out of the modulation to be heard. Roger?
Yeah, there is no adjustment. It's pretty a basic 40 SSD, kit to put together. I put a Hendrix back when in the day. Now it's a Pacific antenna, 80 meter, which works really well. And I bought also a 20 and a 17 bit. Those I have not put together. Just the 80 and the 40 now. Over.
Yes, sir. Now we might try an old trick that we used for hand mics, and that is pull it to the corner of your lips and talk across it. Don't talk directly into it. Pull it to the corner of your lips. Actually touch the corner of your lips and talk across it.
Roger that. So now it's at the side of my lips, and it looks like I'm still peaking somewhere around 8 to 9 watts, over.
Yes, sir. You still need a little more audio. Now, do you have anything that you can tinker with in your audio circuit to give you a little more audio level?
No, there's really no adjustments on this at all except for the drive on it. And I don't know if I have it driving too hard. I don't even know how many watts this kid's supposed to put out. I am pleased with looking at 8, sometimes 10 watts, over.
Roger. Work it just like that. You're still not at 3 dB yet. You're still, about 4 dB. You could be a little louder, but you're very close right there. And just run it like that to the side of your mouth, and it sounds just beautiful. It reduces a lot of the transients, Roger.
Roger that. And I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
Jim here, Juliet India Mike, KC9VKV. If you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, that will, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Roger that. I just wrote down your call, and I just want to make sure I got this right. Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo, Victor.
Yeah, that's it, Roger. Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo, Victor. Roger, Roger. And like I say, you're still about 4 dB, so we could get you, maybe a little bit louder if you had that foam windscreen, then you could work it almost any way you want to. You would, be able to push it just a little bit more, which would be just absolutely perfect, Roger.
I appreciate all the help on this. Glad that, I was told many years ago, from my owner, like I said, I'm running a JK 2-element 40-meter Yagi. It's down because of severe wind, but usually it's up about 75 feet, over.
Roger. Well, that thing's really getting out. So let me say three there. John, you have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend, Roger.
Roger, you also good you know what I'm saying. It's not a DX, but it's a good drag too. So I appreciate your help, Mike, and I am clear. This is Kilo Charlie 2 Zulu Victor Mexico with KC9 Victor Kilo Victor Mike 7-3. Have a great weekend.
Roger, John 70. It is John, is it not?
Roger, John.
Roger, John 73, sir. You have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. And the name here is Jim, Juliet India Mike. And if you get a chance to join us next Friday, we'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Give me a shout.
Charlie 9, Charlie Zulu Juliet.
Station ending in Juliet. Come back slowly with your call sign.
Ending in Juliet. Come back slowly with your call sign.
Charlie 9, Charlie Zulu Juliet.
Charlie Zulu Juliet, is that a Roger?
Charlie Zulu Juliet, is that a Roger?
I'm catching all kinds of trash coming in from the side bins. Not exactly sure what all that is, but what's the name there?
Not exactly sure what all that is, but what's the name there?
Heard you a couple weeks ago and thought we'll try to jump in here and Kilo Charlie 9, Charlie Zulu Juliet.
Charlie Zulu Juliet, Roger. I'm on my local antenna, and I have about 2 clicks over my noise level on it. What is your name, sir?
Ranger Mike. Mike India Kilo Echo Mike.
Roger, Mike. And what's your location?
I'm located just outside Peoria, Illinois, in a little town called Dunlap, Illinois.
Roger that, Mike. And what radio are you running?
I am running a Yaesu STDX10. I've owned it for just a couple of weeks. Take its instruction online,
Okay, John. Mike. I'm gonna try one of my my SDR locations here, and see if I can get you a little bit better. Let's see here. I want to try, say, Michigan, and see what I can get there. And, this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. We're going to our Michigan SDR and see if we can copy John Mike any better. Let's see, Mike. Try me now and let me hear you.
net, and hoping you can hear me through that Michigan SDR.
No, but I'm back on my local antenna. Now I have 3 dB above my noise level, so it's a little better. Can you copy me fairly well?
Yeah, I have a terrific signal on you, Jim. Terrific 5.9 plus here in my area.
Roger, Roger. And what radio is that again you're running?
The Yaesu FTDX10.
Yes, sir. I have information on that, but one of my my tablets has gone to sleep. I have to wake it up. Hey, wake up there, tablet, and let me run through that. And get that audio set level. Get this up, and that would be for the FTDX10. If you would like, the first thing would be to make sure you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. That's 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. That will give you the best performance on that from that radio transmitter. Roger.
Roger, Roger. I did jump in. There is a fellow on YouTube, and I think it might be November Hotel, but I can't remember for sure. And I tuned up to his suggestions, and that did include some bandwidth on transmit and a couple of different levels of processor mic gain. So I'm noticing now my ALT isn't quite reaching the speed that I expected to reach.
It kind of ran out of steam there, kind of faded out. Try it one more time there, Mike.
Very good, Jim. I am running my FTDX10. I am running within some of the parameters you've described, so I have actually tuned the transmit based on some advice offered through YouTube. And I will jump in here and see, number one, how I found it. Number two, any advice on improvement. And noticing my ALT isn't quite peaking what it should. So I'm a little afraid to adjust too much here, but love to get your opinion on the signal and my audio.
Roger, sounds pretty good. From what I can hear, it sounds pretty good. Your dynamic range looks to be about 3 dB. That's where we want it. That means your average percent of peak modulation is around 80 to 85%, so it's nice and loud. I would crank in a little more treble EQ for intelligibility, maybe 3 clicks of treble boost from where you are. Other than that, I'm not sure that your bandwidth is allowing you to be all that you can be. That's something that you would have to check with your book. But to arrive at that, you would have to be in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth, and that will allow you to have maximum top end on your transmitter. Otherwise, when you start lowering your width, you're also lowering the top end, which is where all of the intelligibility is. But other than that, it sounds pretty good. So let me say 73 to you, sir, and you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, Roger.
Terrific opportunity for us to chat and learn a little bit about our audience. So, KC9VKV, Jim, have a terrific weekend, 73s. This is KC9, Charlie Zulu, Juliet.
Roger, Mike, 73, sir. You have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Hello, Quebec 4, November Echo Radio.
Somebody ending in radio, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
This is Kilo Quebec 4, November Echo Radio, John in Atlanta, Georgia.
And that was John in Atlanta?
Yes, sir. John in Atlanta, Georgia. How you doing this afternoon?
Doing pretty good. And that call sign was Kilo Q4NE, is that a Roger?
Yeah, KQ4NER.
Ah, okay, NER, Roger. And let's see, John, what radio are you running today?
I'm running an FT991A, and I'm boosting that signal with an Ameritron AL811 amplifier. I got a dipole antenna that's about 65 feet in the air, and it's a Buckmaster. It's a very good dipole antenna. Over.
Roger. Well, that audio is pretty good. There's not a lot of bottom end in it, but it's fairly loud, and it does have a nice top end, Roger.
Roger that. What's your location? Over.
Down around Louisville, Kentucky, or up around Louisville, Kentucky, as it were, on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville.
Roger that. That's some nice country up there. Over.
Oh yes, that's why we're there. I really enjoy the area, Roger. It's always interesting. Just about the time you get tired of one kind of weather, along comes something else.
Yeah, Roger that. Well, that's great. I'm glad we could make the contact. I'll say 73 to you and let you get on to somebody else, but it's been good talking with you. KQ4NER, clear.
Roger, John. Just sounds really good, sir. And I think you'll like your recording. If you would want to, we have been recording, between 3:30 and 5. And if you'd like to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call, let us search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. It'll take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2900, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger.
Roger that. I appreciate that. You have a great evening. Over.
Yes, sir. I'm copying you on my local antenna. You're somewhere around 20 over. Roger.
Fantastic. You're real loud and clear here into Atlanta as well. You're about 10 over.
Roger, John, 73, sir. Have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
ZFK.
ZFK, can you give me your call sign slowly, phonetically?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Whiskey Bravo 4 Zebra Foxtrot Kilo WB4ZFK. My issue is not the radio. I think my issue is the antenna. Over.
Well, gosh, you sounded mighty good. Where are you?
I'm south of you. I'm right below Bowling Green on the Tennessee side. Tennessee line's, or the Kentucky line's, about 400 yards from my front door. I'm really southeast of Bowling Green by about 25 miles.
Roger, but you're on the Kentucky side?
Negative, I'm on the Tennessee side.
Roger, and what's the name of there?
My name is Gene. Golf Echo Nancy Echo. My G5RV, I think, is kind of squirrely. And I've messed with it on the inside, not on the outside. And, sir, you are fantastically clear signal about an S8. Beautiful copy. Over.
Thank you. Is that Gene with a G or Gene with a J?
Let's do Gene with the G, okay? Golf Echo Nancy Echo. As for the middle name is Eugene. I switched over to a long wire. I hope you're still hearing me.
I didn't notice much difference. Both are really hot, Roger.
Oh, thank you. Your name, please? I missed that.
Roger, Jim, Juliet, India, Mike, and we're up around Louisville, Kentucky, just across the river on the Indiana side, right at Louisville.
Jim, your signal went to about 20 over that time, and it is fantastic. I won't continue. The issues I have will have to be probably mechanical for me, I guess, outside. 73, good afternoon. Appreciate the opportunity, sir. KC9 Victor Kilo Victor, I think it is. Willie Baker 4 Zebra Foxtrot Kilo 73. Thanks a lot, sir.
Roger, Gene. Now, let's see, there's a couple of things. First off, you might want to get a windscreen for your microphone just to achieve absolute perfection. If you had a foam windscreen on that microphone, it would take all of those transients away and just leave the words, Roger.
Are you saying perhaps I don't need to breathe so hard?
No, it's not the breath. It's just there are some transients there. But I would keep working that microphone just the same as you are, because it's not that big a thing. But if you did get a foam windscreen for that mic and kept working it just like you are, you would be perfect, Roger.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that very much. Good afternoon again, and thanks for the advice. Kilo Charlie 5, Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. Whiskey Bravo 4 Zebra Fox Kilo. I'll see you again, sir.
Yes, sir. And what radio is that you're running, Gene?
It's the Qso FTDX 1200.
Roger. It really sounds good. It definitely sounds beautiful. And if you want to hear it, go to YouTube and then do that call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. 73, Gene. Thanks for dropping by. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Victor Kilo Victor. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. Kilo Golf 4 Whiskey Quebec Quebec.
Whiskey Quebec. What's the first part of that call sign? Or give me your whole call sign one more time.
What's the first part of that call sign? Or give me your whole call sign one more time.
Kilo Golf 4 Whiskey Quebec Quebec.
Whiskey Quebec Quebec. Roger, and what's the name there?
Whiskey Quebec Quebec. Roger, and what's the name there?
My name's Richard. We've talked before.
Roger, Richard, and where are you located, sir?
Roger, Richard, and where are are you located, sir?
I am located in Alabama.
Roger, Roger. And what radio are you running today? Man, you need some you need some help, bud.
Same one the last time I talked to you. It was
You need some help,
you
bud.
have a non-7000, the last of the 7000 series.
That a non-7000, is that a Roger?
A non-7000, is that a Roger?
QSL.
Roger, Roger. Well, Richard, you seem to be very conservative on your running your radio. Your mod is could come up quite a bit as far as levels concerned. I'm only copying you at maybe about 5 dB, and you probably could be around 3 dB, which would really increase your apparent loudness by quite a bit.
Increase your apparent loudness by quite a bit.
Well, I ain't talking too loud either. I'm only running about 500 watts.
My, QRM is a dying breed, I hope.
QRM is a dying breed, I hope.
Yeah, you know how it is. It don't matter what frequency you get on, you always got to live.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Richard, you sounded mighty good, so it could be just a tad louder and maybe just a little more top-end EQ. But other than that, everything is just copacetic. Roger?
But other than that, everything is just copacetic. Roger?
Yeah, I try to run it. Too nasty, don't want to be too under nasty, and just kind of smooth and mellow.
Okay, I just went to my local antenna, Richard, and you just blew me away. You're about 40 over, so I really want to get just a little bit more audio on you. What's the best thing you like about your radio?
Well, I got a pan adapter. I can see up and down the band, and I can see everybody that's got splatter and buckshot.
Yes, sir, man, just beautiful. That right there. You'll really love that. Just a beautiful copy. You're about, like I say, you're about 40 over. Your audio curve does sound to be good. And you are about 3 dB dynamic range on my local antenna. So that means, 80 to 85%. Roger, Roger?
Roger. That's somewhere where I run it, about 80%. I don't care to run the mic gain up too high. Just, have a nice, smooth, mellow sound.
Yes, sir. Well, you definitely have that, Richard. I think you really, really love your recording. If you go to YouTube, do a call and a search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That will take you to this recording, and it'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2900, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Well, ain't no problem. I ain't never listened to the last one, so I don't know. I might listen to this one. You can't never tell.
Yeah, well, it's just beautiful. So have yourself a good day, sir. We got to get out of here. 73 down that way. You were in Alabama. Sounded mighty good. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net, and since 3:30 we've been broadcasting. And if you participated and want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube, do that call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, and that'll take you to this recording. And that being said, we got to get out of here and return this frequency back to normal amateur radio use. This is KC9VKV. Clear.
All right. You have yourself a wonderful evening and a good weekend there. I hope that you don't get a bunch of cold like it is here today. 73s for now. Kilo Golf 4, Whiskey, Quebec, Quebec.
Good audio.